Hi guys, welcome to the video. So in today's video I'm going to share with you how I went from feeling unhappy and trapped living in a house to now feeling joyful and free living in my van traveling around Australia. And I'm very happy to announce I'm now in Tasmania. I have been here for a week and a half and I'm really looking forward to sharing all of my adventures here with you. But for now, let's go back to where it all started. So I'm really happy now, but this wasn't always the case. We need to go back 3.5 years ago, and this is a video that I filmed at the stables with my horse. Here, I feel like I've got stuck in the rat race, and I felt like this for a few years. And I feel like I really am just on a wheel spinning around and around, and I think I want to get off. At that time, I was feeling very trapped and like I needed to do something now to change the way I was living. I couldn't keep living like that anymore. I was also realizing how short life really is. I had a friend and my brother-in-law both diagnosed with cancer at the beginning of that year. So I thought really hard about my options for a couple of days, and this is what I came up with. I've had a lifelong dream of driving around Australia in a van and visiting all the rural communities, and I kept saying in 10 years I'll do it, you know, when my horse dies, and I don't want to leave him. But with everything that's happened lately, it's made me realize that life is short and I might be dead in 10 years. And if I did die without doing this, it would be one regret that I have. I tend to live my life without regrets. I tend to always do what I want to do. So I have decided to do it. I'm not going to put it off any longer. So at this point, it was very clear to me that this was what I was going to do. I sat down and I made a rough plan that I estimated would take me about 18 months to go from living in a house to living in a van. So as I wrote out my plan, it got a bit overwhelming to think of everything that I had to do in order to get out of the house and into the van. So I made a decision to just focus on the step I was on at the time, and I estimated it was going to take me about 18 months, and yeah, I wasn't even close. It took me a lot longer to sell the house than I originally thought for two reasons. The first was that it took me a lot longer to get the house ready to sell, and secondly, I decided to sell my house in a big market slump when nobody was buying houses. The original plan was to live in a rental house for 6 months while I bought and fitted out a van, but I was so tired after selling the house that I knew I would need at least 12 months to recover from selling the house and then buy a van and fit it out. When it came time to buy the van, I was so excited about actually getting a van and starting to plan for my dream that I just bought the first van that I looked at. And in hindsight, it wasn't the best decision I made, but I'm still happy with it. I absolutely loved fitting out and building my van. I had watched YouTube videos for 2 years on how to do it, and it just felt like I knew exactly what to do, and I couldn't believe that I was actually building my own home. And even to this day, I'm in amazement of what I accomplished on my own. Selling everything I owned turned out to be too overwhelming for me. So I made a decision to get a small storage unit, and the things that I didn't know if I could part with or not, I put in the storage unit. And I have since downsized that storage unit to a very small one, and so now I do have left just the things that are very personal to me. And finally, the moment I had been waiting for almost 2.5 years. I get to move into the van. It was such an amazing day when I finally moved into the van and drove out of the driveway and knew that I wasn't going to live in a house again. And the experiences I have had in the last 14-15 months have changed me so much. And it's just the best thing that I've ever done for myself. So that's the story of how I went from feeling trapped in a house to feeling free living in my van. And it took me a lot longer than I thought, but I stuck to my plan. I just did one step at a time and focused on that. And I really made sure that I enjoyed each step. So it wasn't just about getting to live in the van. I wanted to enjoy each step along the way and the changes that that brought into my life and everything I learned from each step. I learned so much just in the process. So yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, can you give it a thumbs up? And my goal of this video was to inspire you to go after your dreams. It's not impossible. It can take a lot of hard work, but in my mind, it's worth it. Like, this is the best thing I've ever done for myself. And if it all ended today, it's all been worth it. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.